So, ciao tutti. Today is another live Italian lesson. Last week we were looking at the present tense in Italian, and today we're going to look at the past tense, the passato prossimo, which is kind of like a present perfect construction if you're comparing that with English. So let me just share my screen here, and we'll kind of briefly review what we looked at last time. So we have the different subject pronouns: io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, loro. And for the three groups, we've got like the ARE ending, the ERE ending, and the IRE ending. So for like parlare, to speak or to talk, we have parlo, parli, parla, parliamo, parlate, parlano. For correre, coro, cori, core, coriamo, correte, corrono. And for capire, to understand, capisco, capisci, capisce, capiamo, capite, capiscono. And Italian is a pro-drop language, so because of the endings, the OIE or the OIA, or you do not necessarily need to include the subject pronoun. The ending of the verb conveys enough information to know who is the subject. So today we're going to look at the past tense, and generally what the passato prossimo is a composed tense. So we need to use an auxiliary verb, which is in most verbs is avere, to have, just similar to English, like I have spoken. So we use have. So you need to review the conjugations for avere in the present tense. So we have o, I, a, abbiamo, avete, hanno. And then, let me have a small mistake there. We have the past participle, which in this case for parlare is parlato. So we have those two, as it's a composed tense, meaning we have these two pieces that go together. So this is ho parlato, hai parlato, ha parlato, abbiamo parlato, avete parlato, hanno parlato. So we have those two pieces of information, and though in English, when you look at this present perfect construction, you would say you can't use that in a specific past tense moment. It's more of like a period of time. In Italian, you can say like yesterday I spoke. So you can use that ho parlato with a specific time reference. Okay. Here with correre, the past participle, it's irregular, it's corso. And again, we have its auxiliary verb that it uses is avere. So this is ho corso, hai corso, ha corso, abbiamo corso, avete corso, hanno corso. So that's an irregular past participle. Just like in English, there are irregular past participles for go, gone, make, made, do, done, and more regular ones like parlare would have just like this ato ending. Or if we move here to capire, capito, so that's ito. So ho capito, I have understood, I understood. Hai capito, ha capito, abbiamo capito, avete capito, hanno capito. Okay, so it's up until here, it's rather straightforward. We just need to memorize the what these past participles are, if they are predictable or not. So to know if it's a regular verb with a regular past participle, or kind of an irregular verb with an irregular past participle. And that's a little bit more memory work. And we just need to primarily work with the conjugating the verb to have as the auxiliary verb. Now, there are verbs as well that don't use avere as the auxiliary verb. There is a handful of verbs that use essere to be. And if you are familiar with other Romance languages like French, for example, also has a change of which auxiliary verb conjugates in the past tense. And here is a list of a couple of them. This is coming from the Italian.about.com website, and this is that the verbs that use essere in the compound tenses, for example, andare, to go, arrivare, to arrive, cadere, to fall or to drop, costare, to cost, crescere, to grow, diventare, to become, durare, to last or to continue, entrare, to enter, morire, to die, nascere, to be born, partire, to leave, to depart, restare, to stay or to remain, tornare, to return, uscire, to exit, and venire, to come. So as I've learned in other cases for like the French, these are some verbs that have like a change of state. So things like to die, to be born, or a movement. It's like to go, to arrive, to enter, to exit, to return, to come, to stay, remain, depart, leave. So those are some movements that are used with this essere. So back here is how we form this. So we're using essere in the present tense. So that's sono, sei, e, siamo, siete, sono. And then if you look at the past participle, it now changes if it is referring to masculine singular or feminine singular, or kind of masculine mixed plural or feminine plural. So we have andato, andata, andati, andate. So those are these four forms that you need to be careful about when you are conjugating these verbs that will use essere in the this passato prossimo. So if as a man, I would say io sono andato, so I went. If I were a woman, I would say io sono andata, so I would have that a at the end. Also, if the second person, if I know the person I'm talking to is a man or a woman, I would say tu sei andato, tu sei andata. If I'm talking about a third person, a man or a woman, this would change to lui è andato, lei è andata. And if I'm speaking formally, it would depend if I'm speaking formally to a man or a woman. So with the è andato, è andata. And if we're a group of people, I'd say we went, so noi siamo andati. If it was like me as a man with another man or with a woman, so noi siamo andati. If I were a woman with another woman, or I would say noi siamo andate, so that e at the end. And as a group of people, voi siete andati, or voi siete andate. So like talking to a group of friends, like you went. If I know it was a group of a mixed group, I would use andati. And if it was a group of women, my friends, two girls I was talking to, I'd say voi siete andate. And to talk about they as a group of people, I have either they as a group of men or a mixed group. So loro sono andati or loro sono andate. So just be careful with those forms. So this conjugates like an adjective, the andato and andato, andata, andati, andate on there. But when you're using avere as the auxiliary verb, you don't make these changes to the past participle. So those are some of the basics there, and this is one of the more common ways to talk in the past. So we have ho parlato, as you can see here. If you want to make this negative, non ho parlato, so we have the non. And just as a question, hai parlato italiano. So just kind of raising the voice, you don't have to change the word order here. So this makes these this covers basically what you need to know for the passato prossimo. So you can go back and forth between the present tense here. So you need to know these three groups: the ARE ending, the ERE ending, and IRE ending in the present tense for these little changes in here. And primarily for the past tense, this passato prossimo, you need to know avere and essere, how to conjugate those ones. And you need to know the past participle. It's possible that you could have a regular past participle like parlato or capito, but you may have an irregular like corso, and there are other ones as well. And when you're using essere, as we saw, there was a small group there. You need to know that you change the past participle for masculine singular, feminine singular, and mixed plural or all feminine plural. Okay, well, that covers most of the information for today here. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion. I know I need to work on my Italian pronunciation, and I know that that's something a work in progress, and I welcome collaboration from native speakers to help out with these videos and the input on the comments and usage notes and grammatical notes. I appreciate that as well. So if you like these videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And there'll be more coming up next week. Thank you very much for watching. Ciao.